Bob Sansevier here with Pioneer Press Deputy Sports Editor John Plume, man who thinks he knows everything about football. Let me ask you. There's talk in Philadelphia that McNabb may be available again. There's talk every year about it. But if he is available, do the Vikings make a push for him and say, you know what, thank you, Brett, but we're going to go in another direction if he doesn't tell them right now he's coming back?
It just seems to make all the sense in the world to pursue McNabb. He's 33 years old. He'll be 34 when the season starts. He's probably going to play, you would think, at least another 3 or 4 years. He knows the West Coast offense. He played for the coach. He played for the quarterback's coach. I don't know how long Brett Favre can hold this team hostage during the offseason, but if you have a chance to acquire Donovan McNabb for a second-round draft pick, maybe even the first-round pick.
Won't be a first. You don't need a first-round pick. You give him second-round pick and Tavares Jackson, boom, done deal, move on.
I mean, I think if the Eagles said, we want your 30th overall pick, I think the Vikings have to make that deal. You make that deal, you send him Tavares Jackson, you get it done, you bring McNabb here, have Sage back him up, you try and draft Colt McCoy in the third round, and you move on and you develop McCoy behind McNabb.
The problem you have, and if they don't have the other options, if McNabb didn't work out, then the problem with you have to get Brett Favre back. But the problem is the window's only open so long for a team. Now this team's window is probably not going to be as wide open as it was last year. It's closing incrementally each year. So what you're saying about McNabb makes sense. Get somebody like him in, get 2 or 3 years out of him if you can, and have somebody young waiting in the wings. And I think Tavares I think the time of waiting in the wings has come and gone for him. He's a backup for somebody else's team is where I think it's going to wind up. And so I think that we're sort of in agreement. McNabb over Favre if you can get McNabb, right?
If you can get McNabb, why not make that move? It seems to make all the sense in the world. You can probably get him for less money. And the other issue with this team is...
But let me ask this, though. If you call Favre and he says, I will come back, do you then forget about McNabb?
Yes.
I agree. If Favre can come back...
If Favre says, hey, I'll play. If he says on April 1st, and I think that's going to be a key date, that I'm coming back, I don't think you give McNabb a second thought. I mean, let's face it, McNabb has a terrible track record in big games. He hasn't won he can't win the big game.
The only problem with Favre saying, yes, I'm coming, he could change his mind May 1st.
Well, there's 50 million reasons why he won't, though.
At least.
Yes.
John, I can almost promise you we're not done talking about Brett Favre